Welcome. This one's about Rick Rubin, the rock rap guru. Without him, I wouldn't be the guy that I am today. Now, Frederick J. Rubin was born March 10th, 1963 in Long Island, New York, United States of America. In 1983, he produced his first single, It's Yours, by Tila Rock and Jazzy J. Now, Rick Rubin played guitar, had his own band, DJ, made beats. His greatest skill, though, was bringing out the best in others. He exhibits qualities of both Maxwell and Greene. He was all about his passion, and he was always following his heart. You can find him in the punk rock clubs, hip-hop clubs, rubbing shoulders. He loved the atmosphere, right? And what he found is that there's a difference between the rap records that were out and the hip-hop you found in the club. And he wanted to put that feeling on the records. So in 1984, he created Def Jam Records from his dorm room in NYU. He was joined by Russell Simmons, who sought him out after his great work with Tila Rock and Jazzy J. Now, with this dynamic duo, Russell Simmons had the people. He had a bunch of artists that he was managing. But Rick, he had the vision. He was able to help these artists be the best version of themselves and reduce their records down to the essentials to create the biggest impact. In one of his quotes, instead of putting produced by Rick Rubin on the album, he would put reduced by Rick Rubin because he was a minimalist. Sales topped 300,000 records in 1985, and Columbia Records placed Rick Rubin and Simmons under contract. His first hit with LL Cool J's I Need a Beat, a single that sold 100,000 copies. Def Jam's roster expanded, included the Beastie Boys, which he was a DJ in, Public Enemy, Number One, and Run DMC. He convinced those guys to do Walk This Way, even when they didn't want to do it. And if they didn't do it, I doubt I'd be like I am today. So, thank you. It was a great call. See, he was a coach for the artists in the studio. He wasn't all up in the videos, dancing, trying to be the king. He was a servant leader, Maxwell would say. He would help these guys to bring out the best, as I said before. But the road would be rocky. Pretty soon, Russell Simmons' homeboy, Leo Cohen, a typical Green leader who's been at the helm causing a lot of splits in other labels, forced him to found a new label, Def American Recordings, with heavy metal acts Slayer and Danzig as his first artists. He officially left Def Jam in 1988 over a disagreement about the structure of the label's relationship with Columbia. Whoo! And it wasn't too hard, because he's formless and shapeless, like Bruce Lee would say, or Greene would say in Law 25, recreate yourself. It's kind of a necessary thing to stay alive. And he did that. In 1991, he guided the Red Hot Chili Peppers to multi-platinum success with Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic, a seminal album. It was a smash. It was almost like their first album all over again, they would say, because what he did was put them in a mansion instead of them recording in big recording studios, and let them do their thing like it was the first time. And it really worked. Always transforming, by 1993, he had a funeral for the term deaf and reduced the name of his imprint to American Recordings, which earned him 5 Grammys for restarting Johnny Cash's career. And could you imagine? Cash didn't even think it was possible. Whoo! But Rubin knew it. He reduced that sound, assumed formlessness, He was like water. And boom, through the 2000s, Rubin worked with Neil Diamond, Jay-Z, Hove, and Tom Petty. Could you believe it? He was able to dibble and dabble and go deep into all these different forms and styles and create the best. He revived hip hop rock once again with 99 Problems. It was crazy. And guess who recommended that? Lyor. Now, in May 2007, he became the co-chairman of Columbia Records. He got a second Grammy as Producer of the Year in 2009 for his album's work on Metallica, Neil Diamond, and Weezer, among others. One of the criticisms that people typically have with Rubin is that he doesn't actually do the production. Maybe this is a Greene law. Maybe it's a Maxwell trait of delegating responsibly. The Greene law would be getting others to do the work and taking the credit. But we know that he uses producers, so maybe it's just great management. He left for Columbia Records, revived his American Records imprint as the arm of Republic Records. He went on to make smashes with ZZ Top, Avett Brothers, Band of Horses, and Tokyo, a rapper, Eminem's Revival 2017, The Strokes' The New Abnormal in 2020. For all these reasons, I'd have to say that Rick Rubin is a level 5 leader. He understands the importance of putting people first and strategy second. This means finding the right people for the organization, getting rid of the wrong ones, and putting employees in the appropriate positions, all before addressing business tactics. Rubin was so serious about that he took himself out of the organization when he wasn't the right one. So that supports it even more. In conclusion, thank you for listening. This has been an analysis of Rick Rubin's managerial style and leadership style. Good night.